Hello, welcome to this video. My name is David Owasi, and this presentation is all about how to acquire clients and the secrets of client acquisition for B2B companies. And this is a dummy-proof guide. And this video is really for you if you're a B2B business owner, so you work with other businesses or other sort of professionals, and you're struggling with consistent lead flow or customer acquisition, then you definitely want to listen up, because in this video, I'll be breaking down how we've solved this for ourselves, and more importantly, how you can solve this for yourself. And all of our strategies is really powered by AI-powered technology. So at the end of this presentation, you will know precisely how to generate hundreds of qualified leads for your business without any ad spend. Of course, ads definitely work, but sometimes there's a barrier for leveraging paid ads because of budget or other concerns, or you're just looking for other ways to generate clients. Then this video is definitely for you. So who am I? My name is David Owasi. I run two companies. I run Ace Marketing, which is the marketing agency side of my companies, and then I also have another company called Outreach Genius, which is a software side of our company. And basically Outreach Genius basically works hand in hand with the marketing agency, where we generate, we build software and we build solutions that our marketing agency side of the business uses to help clients. And of course, the software that by themselves also is valuable for clients in of itself. And I'll be showing you both of those and how they work as well. So here's what we'll cover today. We'll cover a couple of concepts. The first one is called the call for. The other one is called old versus new paradigm, and then compelling offers, and then AI demos. I'm going to be showing you and demoing our tools, how they work, so you can actually see them in real time live. And then I'll be talking a little bit more about scale, basically how to scale what is working and expand it essentially. So the first concept to understand is that money follows attention. And more impressions, which is more people seeing your stuff, seeing your offer, seeing your product or your services, equals to more revenue. Now, there are two types of audiences woman code. By the way, this call for concept was popularized by Alex Amosi. He had a really amazing book launch recently where he shared some of these ideas, and I was blown away. So I figured I'd incorporate that into my talking point. So here we are. So two types of audiences. We have warm audiences and cold audiences. Now, obviously, warm audience is very, very straightforward. These are people who you know, whether people who signed up for something already, or they're your email list, or people on your social media who follow you on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. Those are warm audiences. And then cold audiences are people who you don't know, people who are just out there. They've never heard about you or your company or your offers. And those are the two types of audiences that we do have. And there are two ways of communicating to these audiences. We got one-on-one and one-to-many. So one-on-one is just in the DMs, private one-on-one conversations. And one-to-many is you reaching out at scale. This could be in the form of creating content where you create it once and then multiple can see it and access it, or you're sending you're sending out something through your email list, or more like a blog, really. So those would be like the one-to-many approach. And of course, cold outreach is going to be the focus of this presentation, because I believe cold outreach is one of the best ways to generate clients. There is no cap. It's very, very easy. The barrier to entry is very, very low, and you can scale it as well. And frankly, it has worked really, really well for me and my clients. And I believe it's one of the ways that you can use to basically grow your business. So you start out with cold outreach, and then as you generate more revenue, you have more budgets, we can move into other outreach. And this is just a little chart here showing the intersection of where cold outreach is one-on-one private outreach to people who you do not know. So that's good. Let's get it out of the way. Now, let's talk about a few concepts, the old versus the new paradigm. There is an old way of doing outreach, right? And there is a new way of doing outreach. So generally, when you're doing outreach, there are three things: intent, automation, and personalization. So intent means you want to find the most qualified people who either have an intent to buy your product or use your services because they do have a need and they are aware of their problem and they know the solution to the problem, or you're looking for people who fit your ICP, your ideal customer profile. So that's basically what intent is all about, trying to find the right people to begin the conversations with. Now, in the old way of outreach, what people will do once they've generated intent, they find a perfect list of people who fits their services or who fits their ideal customer profile. The next thing they do is they try to then automate the reach outreach to them. So they will usually use like automation software, whether it's on LinkedIn or on email, to automate the outreach to them. And then after they've done the automation is when they will then apply the personalization and then respond in a personalized way. That used to work, but it doesn't work anymore. And how do I know? I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I've seen all the iteration and all of the trends and all the changes. And with AI coming in, this means that there is a new way of doing things in the horizon. And this is already something that I'm leveraging and my clients are leveraging, and we're seeing outstanding, amazing results. So what's the new way? Well, you still want to have intent. You still want to be speaking to those high qualified people who either are ready to buy or who fit your ideal customer profile. You still want to do that. But the next thing is you want to personalize your outreach to them. Instead of just automating everything and sending them all of that information, you want to personalize it. Then you then do the automation of the personalization. So again, it's very, very subtle shift, but it really packs a punch. It's really, really critical, and it makes such a massive difference where you have the high intent, you personalize a message to each person because everybody want to feel special, and that's just the way it is. And then you then automate the outreach. So that is the new world, and that is the new paradigm. And if you want to succeed using cold outreach, this is what you need to do, and this is the change that needs to happen. And this, if you want to be ahead of the curve, definitely definitely want to use this approach moving forward. And I'll show you how you can use this approach. So this is basically what I talk about. The intent is building a prospecting list. Automation is leveraging LinkedIn or email automation tools, and personalization is personalizing responses to automation campaign. And the result in this old way has been abysmal. I've seen how people are frustrated. I've been personally frustrated myself. And the new way is using AI and a whole bunch of tools to identify more ideal prospects, to have higher intent. So what does that mean? Well, there are two things when it comes to intent. The first way we're able to use new technology, AI, and other new technologies to identify high intent is we have something called the website visitor reveal. And this is a tool that we've built in-house in my second company, OutreachGenius, the software side of my business. And what we do is we're able to install a pixel on your website and identify anonymous visitors who are coming to your website, the contacts of those anonymous visitors. And I will show you an example of what that looks like. If you stay with me to the end of this presentation, I will show you what that looks like in real life. And then the second thing is Sales Navigator on steroids. So basically, we're able to use a bunch of tools to identify people based on your Sales Navigator search. So if you're not familiar with Sales Navigator, it's a tool that LinkedIn has that allows you to really, really pinpoint exactly who you want to talk to or who you want to reach out based on different factors or filters like their geographical location, their job title, and a whole bunch of different other filters. So we're able to even take that to the next level by using a tool to really filter and clean that data to make sure it really fits in with your ideal prospects. And there's something I'll be sharing with you. If you stay with me, it's an amazing bonus that I've learned. It's called the email blitz strategy that allows you to send out as much as 1,000 messages, start 1,000 conversations each day on LinkedIn legally without having to break LinkedIn rules. And this has been a massive game changer. So you definitely want to stay to the end of this presentation to learn how that strategy works. So the second thing is personalization. So what I'll be showing you today also is how to use, how to personalize your first line. So when you send out outreach messages, you don't just want to start out with your pitch right away. You want to personalize your outreach and make the person feels like you're speaking directly to them and they're not just one of thousands of people you're reaching out to. And that is where the personalized first line or the icebreaker really comes into play, where we use the LinkedIn information of the prospect to create a very, very personalized icebreaker, talking about them and making sure they feel like we are actually reaching out to them and using that to break the ice and start a conversation. And the other one is AI personalized responses. That is specifically for LinkedIn. We're able to use AI to create personalized responses to LinkedIn messages. And I will show you again how this works. And again, these are all the things that the tools we've built in-house at our company, and it's very, very exciting. Now, automation is pretty straightforward. We have email software and LinkedIn software that can allow you to automate this outreach once you've personalized them. Remember, once you've personalized them. And the result is higher quality leads, higher responses, and of course, more appointments. And when you have more appointments, naturally, that will lead to more sales. So let me show you some results of some of this. We've used this in action. So I told you we have our own marketing agency. And when we use these tools, we don't just use them in isolation. We actually practice and put our tools to the task to make sure that they actually work and that the results, really is there. So these are some examples of some results from our marketing agency. We do have a whole bunch of appointment setters that use our tools to generate results for our clients, and these are just some examples of those results. And again, not just only appointments that we're able to set, we are also able to convert these appointments into revenue, into dollars for our clients. So as you can see here, this is someone who closed a $17,000 deal. We have another person who they sent us a response the other morning saying that they just signed up their first clients using our strategies. And we have someone else here who also sold a $3,000 coaching program using our strategy as well. And this is another person who made a sale. And again, these are, again, examples of results both from setting up appointments and also generating revenue for the business, which at the end of the day is ultimately what every business wants, generate revenue. So before I dive into showing you the actual tactics and the tools, it's very important that you do have a compelling offer. And this is a compelling offer equation. Again, this was put together by Alex Emozi, and as you can tell, I'm a huge fan of him and his work. But I found it really useful and helpful to understand what makes an offer compelling. Now, looking at this little equation here, at the very top here, you want all of this stuff to increase. So dream outcome and perceived likelihood of achievement, the more you can guarantee those, the better and more compelling your offer is. And then time delay and effort and sacrifice, the less it is, the less it is, the more compelling your offer is. So what does dream outcome mean? Well, your ideal prospect, they're looking for a dream outcome, whether it's a solution to the problem they have and don't want, or that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a solution to the problem they have and don't want. And you have to be able to guarantee, number one, you have to be able to understand that dream outcome, but also be able to show how your offer, your services, your product is going to help them hit that dream outcome. The second thing is you have to be able to guarantee them that the likelihood of them achieving that dream outcome is high. And this can be through testimonials, through case studies, through free trials, whatever it is you can do to make sure that the perceived likelihood of them achieving that dream outcome is high. And the higher both of these things are, the more compelling your offer is. Now, let's talk about the lower area. Time delay. So time delay is a difference between the time when a client pays you for your services or your product and when they start getting that outcome or that result that they paid you for. The lower that time delay is, the more compelling your offer is. And then effort and sacrifice is the less work and effort and sacrifice that ideal prospect has to put in to get the dream outcome or the result they're looking for. The lower that effort and sacrifice, then the more compelling your offer is. So when you combine all of these things, you do have a much more compelling offer. And of course, the reason why I'm sharing this is because no matter how great the strategy to reach out to prospect is, if your offer is not compelling, then there won't be a lot of progress or result you will get. So it's very critical that you understand what makes your offer compelling and work on it if your offer is not compelling. All right, so I'm going to do some demo now, which is very exciting. We're going to talk about intent. So Reveal Genius is going to be the tool I will show you. Again, these are tools that we built in-house. Personalization, I'm going to show you First Line Genius, LinkedIn Genius, and then I'm going to talk to you about the email bleed strategy with Everboot and Outreach Genius, and I'm going to talk to you about automation using Instantly and LinkedIn Genius. So let's dive in. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Reveal Genius. Reveal Genius is one of our tools. It's basically a pixel powered with coupled with AI that we install on your website, and it's able to identify the contact of anonymous visitors to your website. So this is an example of my own company, one of our websites called OutreachGenius.ai, and it's just a funnel that we built for to just test out a couple of things. And this is an example of what that revealer looks like. So the first thing is to be able to identify the time that a person clicked on the website, then the first and the last name, their email address 2, their phone number, the address of the individual, their city, their state, their zip code, and what specific part of the landing page they clicked on. And as you can see here, we have a couple of results here, almost 88 results for this test that we did. And this allows us to understand the highest intent individuals. So these are people who have visited our website from wherever sources they've come from, which shows a high intent. And we can even further supplement this list or enrich this list by connecting it to their LinkedIn profile, which gives us a whole different stream of information. But this is the idea of how the Revealer Genius works. And this again is a very, we have this for ease of data transportation. We have this set up on as a Google Doc, Google spreadsheet, so that way, for whatever CRM you have, you can easily transport that data into your CRM. So that's a very, very first thing. The next thing I'm going to be sharing with you is the second tool regarding personalization, called First Line Genius. Now, First Line Genius, what it does is it allows you to upload, and I'm just going to show you really here. If you go to our website, OutreachGenius.ai, this is for the software side of our company, and you will see a bunch of information here. But if we log in, so let's just log in here, and I will show you how First Line Genius works. And it basically creates personalization. It personalizes the first line of your cold email intro. But how does it work? So first thing is you want to click on new first lines here. You want to pick a campaign name. So let's just say campaign test, right? Campaign test. And then you want to pick a CSV file. So let's pick a CSV file here. If we just go with this one here, this is a CSV file. It has a whole bunch of information. As you can see here, it automatically has mapped out the email. So the email on the CSV file, the first name, the last name, the LinkedIn URL of that specific person. This is very, very important. The job title. And we do have a whole bunch of other additional fields here that you can map to. And then once you've done that, you just submit it. And I won't do that because I've already done this for this already. But when you submit it, what happens is if you go back to the main page, this is basically what the data would look like after all the analysis has been done. So you see completed here. So we can click on complete here. And once we do that, what you can start to see here is the personalized first line generated for each individual. So for example, here with Jay Noble, it says, hey, your leadership as technical director at Deerhurst. And actually, let's open up his LinkedIn profile so we can make sure that this actually fits with who he is. So if we open his LinkedIn profile, so John Noble is the technical director at Deerhurst Resort. There's not a lot of information, but this is basically what we're able to get. Your leadership as technical director has undoubtedly propelled the company to new heights. Your ability to seamlessly integrate cutting-edge technology and drive innovation is truly impressive. And then I'm eager to discover more about the transformative projects you have spearheaded. You get the point. So you basically create a very personalized first line for this individual. And as you can see here, we have more and more of that information being personalized for each person on that list. And the other thing is we have a PS message. The PS message is basically something that you use to again create another level of personalization. So this person here is from Huntsville, I believe. So Huntsville, Ontario, right? So when we look in here, it says, hey, I heard Huntsville has a strong contender for the world record of most beavers per capita. I didn't even know that, but that's very interesting. Watch out for your money jog. And then we do have some subject lines that's been created as well. So essentially what this does is it helps you create icebreakers. And once you're happy with it, you can actually download it as a CSV file here onto your own computer and then use that in your campaigns. And I will show you how to use that in a minute. So here's how to use it. So when we go to Instantly, so Instantly is an email marketing software that we're able to use. So when we go into Instantly here and we create a campaign, so let's just assume that we're going to use, let's see here, is this a good campaign to use? So not this one. So let's just assume that we're going to use this campaign here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually, let's just use a campaign that has not been used before. So that way it won't confuse anything. Let's just say, assuming here, we're going to create some filters. So we're going to say something like, so we're gonna upload the leads first. That will make it easy. So let's import that CSV file of first lines generated for you. Let's import it in here so that way you can see it in action. So let me find it here. I do have it somewhere here. So I have it at there you go. So that's a test sample. So what I then do is I then map out all the information properly. So email here, first name here, and then we have the last name here. We don't need a LinkedIn URL, but this is the first line that we do need. So I can go in here and I can say this one will be personalization. And then I can then go PS message. So the PS message can be a custom variable. And then the subject line here can actually be another custom variable. And then what I can then do is I can then upload all of that information into the automated into this automation system here. So for example, for this one, we're just going to use three contacts. So what I can then do when I'm building my email sequence is I can go subject line here for here, and I can go hi, and I can go first name, right? So actually we don't want that there. So I can go hi, first name, and then I can use the icebreaker piece of that was created by AI, if you remember, right? So I can go in here, I can then say insert a variable, and then for the variable, I want to insert the personalization, right? And then I can then say something else. I can say, you know, love to learn more about how I can help, right? Or whatever it is your offer is. And then I can then have that PS later on. So I can go in here again, I can go insert a variable, and I can go PS message. And that's it. I can save this. And again, we can make this very, very complicated, but for the sake of this example, I want to show you. So here's what the email will actually look like. So it goes connecting with a marketing pro in Winnipeg. Remember, that was a subject line that was generated by AI. And then we can go, hi, Diane, your achievement at Norwood as hotel manager are truly remarkable. Again, that was what was generated in here. So if you go in here, that was your achievement at Norwood Hotel as manager is truly remarkable. So that was what we had there. And then love to learn more about how I can help. And then PS, heard Winnipeg is so cold, even the polar bears wear jackets. So you can see how when we create automation campaigns from Outreach Genius, we're able to move it into Outreach Genius, into an automated email software like this. It does make sense at scale. So that's the first thing I'm going to show you. The second thing I'm going to show you is LinkedIn Genius. And LinkedIn Genius is our tool that we've built specifically for LinkedIn to use AI to create personalized outreach. So here's how it works. So this is the tool here. It's called, so basically it's OutreachGenius.ai, connect with OutreachGenius.ai. And basically the first thing we want to do is when we go on here is we want to train the AI, which is an AI assistant we call Jira. We want to train the AI to really understand our offer and what we're all about. So here's how it works. So the first thing I do is I will tell it about our product and our services. So for example, what we do, how we do it, and then we have what makes us different, pricing structure, onboarding process, success stories, challenges, etc. And this allows Jira, the AI assistant, to understand more information about my product and services. And then same thing here with the personal description. I help Jira understand who I am, what I am all about. So as you can see here, my background, my personal traits, and then location, family information, and all of the above. And that allows Jira to really understand what I'm all about. Now, there are a whole bunch of other additional things that we do. And when we work with clients, we actually have them set all of this up because it can, to make it very simple for them. But that being said, let me show you what it looks like in action and how the AI piece, how the AI comes into play. So these are some examples of some messages that I have generated personally on my own profile. And again, just to show you, we book a lot of calls with this. For example, this person, we just booked a call, but let me show you what it would look like. So the first thing, let me find a good example here. That's not a good example. Let's find another one here. Okay, so this is an example here. So this is actually a negative example. So we use automation first to begin the conversation, which is what we do on LinkedIn. And then the next thing, this person responded and said, I'm actually not looking for that, but we'll keep you in mind moving forward. So there are two things we can do here. The first thing is we can actually use AI to map out the intent to understand what's the intent of this person. As you can see here, this person said, I'm not looking for help. And that means AI mapped the intent as not now. So that's very correct. Now, the next thing we can do is we can actually use AI to generate the response. And there are a few prompts we can have here. For example, if I just want to generate a simple response to the message, I can go in here and I go generate AI response. And what this AI will do is it will look through the person's information, the response and the conversation that we're already having, and then my own information that I've fed about my company, about myself to generate a response. So it says, hey, Aaron, no worries. I totally understand. Just reach out whenever you're ready, or if you have anything in mind, have a great day. If I want to pitch my product, now that wouldn't make sense because this person is not interested, but if I want to pitch them on Ace Marketing, here's kind of what it would look like. Again, I just select that prompt, and then I can then enter the AI response here. And then it says, hi, Aaron, I just checked your LinkedIn profile. I must say your experience and accomplishment are truly impressive. The way you've excelled in your field is an inspiration. And then regarding OutreachGenius.ai, which is my company, I believe it will greatly benefit you because they provide efficient lead generation and data enrichment solution. And basically it pitches my offer to that individual. And then if I like the message, I can say use AI response, and it puts it in here, and then I can send it if I want. So that's again how that's how our LinkedIn Genius works. It helps us use automation, LinkedIn automation, to start conversations. And I'm actually going to show you what the automation does look like. So if we go into the campaigns here, and I choose one of these automation here, you will see that I automated all these conversations to start the conversation. I automated all this to start a conversation. And once the conversation has been started, then that's where AI comes in to create the personalization. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is sometimes when we go onto Sales Navigator and we use Sales Navigator to create, and we use Sales Navigator, let me just show you what Sales Navigator look like, in case you're not familiar with it. If we use Sales Navigator to begin conversations, sometimes we find that when we generate lists with Sales Navigator, so for example, if I go in here and I go founder, right? So I'm looking for founders who live in, say, let's say founders who live in the geographical location of Texas, for example. So I go Texas here, in the geographical location here, Texas. One thing I find is that sometimes if the search is a little complicated, Sales Navigator gives you wrong information. And we have 69,000 people here, so that's a lot of people. But Sales Navigator sometimes gives us information that doesn't make sense. For example, this person here is senior account executive. That's not a founder that I'm looking for, so that's not correct. Now, there's a Chrome extension called Everboot that can help us fix this. And when you use Everboot here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, if you use Everboot, what it does is it actually helps you filter all of that information and find the correct people based on your search. Now, there's a whole bunch of ways it works, but I'm going to show you the finished result of what it would look like. And these are different searches that I've done, but it would look like a CSV file, which you can download. And when you download it, here's what the CSV file will look like. You have match filters. So match filters is basically, does this person fit the filters that I use in my Sales Navigator search? And this person it says yes, but then sometimes it will say no. And when it says no, it will give me the reason why the person doesn't fit. For example, it says the person doesn't fit because it's the wrong company size, or it doesn't know the company size, or known industry, or wrong job title, or wrong industry. And this allows me to really fine tune and make sure that my search is very clean. And if I don't like the search, if I feel like it's not clean, then what I can do is I can just like highlight all those areas here, and I can just delete that data if I need. The other thing I want to show you is the email blitz strategy. So if you're not familiar with the email blitz strategy, there are some profiles on LinkedIn, and I will show you real quickly here because here's an example of one of those profiles. These profiles allow people to send them cold outreach messages. They've actually opened up their profile, and I'll show you what that looks like on LinkedIn. So if we go in here onto LinkedIn, you will see that this person has specifically said, yes, I want people to reach out to me cold. And how do we know that? Well, if we go into here and we go into message, Tony, you will see that this person says free message. This says free message. Why? Because they have expressed themselves as open to email. And that is very, very critical. So how does this actually work at scale? Here's how it works. So we go in here. So if we go into that, the CSV file from Everboot that we downloaded, the way we can identify that is prospect is open profile. So once we see through here, we know that these individuals are actually open to profiles, they're open to being reached out to, right? And that is a very, very critical information to know. Now, once we like that information, the next thing we can do is we can either use a Chrome extension that we actually built called OutreachGenius, and here's how it works. So this is OutreachGenius, and what we can do, so basically this is still part of the tools that we built, and for you to get this, you just have to go to Chrome Google Store here. And when you go to the Google Chrome store, all you just have to do is search for OutreachGenius. So OutreachGenius. And when you search for OutreachGenius, you will see it here. We already have over 300 users. You can then install it here. But once you install it, here's how it works. all you need to do is you need to open up the LinkedIn profile of the person, right? So you need to open up your LinkedIn profile, and then you can then use AI here to generate a message for email message. You can choose a tone friendly, you can choose a relationship, new connections, and the length short, and the language English. And then you can actually generate a message using AI. And there's a whole bunch of tutorials on how to actually use that. As you can see here, this generates a message here specifically for this individual, and then you can send it to them knowing that they are open to emails. And that's how you can send hundreds and hundreds of messages each day on LinkedIn without having to use up your typical credits. So that is basically how all of that works. So let's go back into our slides here. I've done some demos, showed you some tools, and I hope that you're able to understand how all of these tools work. So so the last thing I want to show you is scale. So how do you actually scale this, and how do you scale this so you can have more impressions, because more impressions means more people buying your stuff. And the way to do that is we have what we call AI LinkedIn accounts. So AI LinkedIn accounts are basically fake accounts, or accounts of not real individuals, but you fill them up with like all this information about job titles and work experience and all of that stuff, and that allows you to scale your outreach. So instead of only using one LinkedIn account, now you can use multiple LinkedIn accounts. And then we have email accounts as well. So one of the things we've done at our agencies, we've bought hundreds and hundreds of email accounts, which allows us to send out hundreds of emails every day, personalized emails as well. And then with the email blitz, you're able to send out tons and tons of outreach messages to people who have the open to email tag on their profile, and that allows us to scale the results. So that's pretty much it. Those are the strategies that you can use for cold outreach to help you really reach out to more people at scale using AI to personalize the information. Now, if you're interested in leveraging any of our tools, you can sign up for a free trial. It's OutreachGenius.ai. So absolutely go out there, sign up for it, use the tools, and if you're interested, we can absolutely set up a call with you to help you on board so you can leverage these tools properly. So that's it for me. Those are how you can use AI plus cold outreach to generate massive results and revenue for your business. And I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Have a fantastic day.